3, beginning at verse 21. And it came to pass in the 12th year of our captivity, in the 10th month, on the 5th day of the month, that one who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me and said, "The city has been captured." Well, now that's quite interesting, that someone fled and came all the way to Babylon and tells Ezekiel about this. Also, the dating of this is believed to be January the 8th, 585 BC, is when he heard about this. Now the hand of the Lord had been upon me the evening before the man came who had escaped, and he had opened my mouth. So when he came to me in the morning, my mouth was open and I was no longer mute. So this is kind of a red letter day. Some people think he was mute for 7 years. Others think from their calculations that he was mute for 12. And that may not mean that he was mute constantly, but that he was mute a good part of the time, and that maybe when he gave the messages, he was not mute, but he was mute at all other occasions. Then, of course, we have to go with the understanding that he was just plain mute and wasn't talking at all, and that a lot of this was being written down perhaps and communicated by some other means. But when the Lord told him over and over, "Say unto so-and-so," there was some method by which that which God was showing him could be communicated to others. That's all I can say. All right? Verse 23, then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, "Son of man, they who inhabit those ruins in the land of Israel are saying, Abraham was only one, and he inherited the land, but we are many. The land has been given to us as a possession. Therefore say to them," this is God saying to Ezekiel, "therefore say to them, thus says the Lord God, you eat meat with blood. You lift up your eyes toward your idols and shed blood." And I think what he's saying there is you're making sacrifices to idols. "Should you then possess the land? You rely on your sword." You know, that is quite a statement. That means they're relying on their own power. They're relying on their own abilities to handle things. They're really not giving it over to the Lord. And that's something we all have to be careful about. That we really put the Lord in charge of all the areas of our lives. He says, you rely on your sword. You commit abominations. And you defile one another's wives. Should you then possess the land? So he's exposing their wickedness. Child sacrifice and everything else. "Say thus to them, thus says the Lord God, as I live, surely those who are in the ruins shall fall by the sword." Now I think when he says surely, we need to think about that word a little bit. He's saying truly this is going to happen. You can take it to the bank. He says, "As I live." So the Lord is swearing by himself in a measure here, isn't he? "As I live, surely those who are in the ruins shall fall by the sword, and the one who is in the open field I will give to the beasts to be devoured. And those who are in the strongholds and caves shall die of pestilence." And what he's saying is, no one is going to being able to get away from what I'm going to bring upon them because of their wickedness. And I think we can all learn from that you just can't run from the Lord. You know, no one says boo to God. He can't be surprised, right? He knows everything before it happens. He says, "For I will make the land most desolate. Her arrogant strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be so desolate that no one will pass through. They're going to look at foreboding. Then they shall know that I am the Lord. And one reason, and one of the main reasons they'll know it, is because he's declared what's going to happen so many times. And when it does happen, there isn't going to be anyone that's going to say, all those false prophets were right, because they weren't. See? You know, a lot of people believe what they want to hear. They don't want to accept somebody's gloom and doom report.